So in 2021, myself and my co-founder, Professor Ryan Coe, co-authored a cybersecurity standard and framework specifically for small business, labelled SMB 1001. That standard was intended to bridge that gap between nothing to ISO 27001, and specifically for the capabilities of a small and medium business. On top of that, we said, look, one standard isn't sufficient. We need to create multiple tiers. This is a journey for a business, and a florist doesn't necessarily need to be as secure as an accounting firm, as secure as an MSP. So let's put it on a step scale. So we've created the standard, we've created the certification, and we've been running businesses through the certification process for the last 2 years manually, just to get a feel for how well it works. It's been widely used across the Pacific nations, so we've used it in government agencies around fishery agencies that needed to uplift cybersecurity. It's been a very effective tool there. Previous to that, they were needing to use ISO 27001. Didn't even know where to start. The analogy that I would compare it to, and it was similar to one I heard outside before, we're basically expecting grade 1 students who are learning to add up and to subtract, subjecting them to geometry and calculus when we drop ISO on them. They're learning how to read Cat in the Hat, but we're giving them War and Peace. So you go nowhere. So that's what we're looking to fill that gap, and we've been able to do that successfully. So the standard itself has now evolved, and we've created a standalone certification authority, so kind of a Standards of Australia itself, known as Cybersecurity Certification Australia. And that certification body, that authority, will take ownership of that standard, and it will look after that standard moving forward. We've established an industry steering committee that's made up of key bodies around Australia that participate annually in making sure that standard is up to date and representative. And some of the bodies on that industry steering committee include McGrath-Nicol. We really wanted Darren on there because Darren's at the coalface every day of what businesses are encountering, what they're experiencing from supply chain threats. Cyber are on there as a great conduit between commerce and the federal government. And COSBOA, the Council of Small Businesses Association of Australia, they're the real voice of Australian small businesses and understand what their capabilities are. And then a number of other organisations. And that industry steering committee will continue to look after that standard. So we basically gave birth to it, created the organisation to manage it, and then put the things in place for it to continue to live on.